FPL family, welcome back to the FPL channel that will one day bring you a team selection video featuring Miss Emma Watson. I'm speaking it into existence. Look, it's going to happen. Anyway, today's my first team selection video since fixtures were released. And honestly, it was a lot easier to pick my squad without having to worry about any of that. But anyway, if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. That would be beautiful. And more importantly, take some time out of your day to make someone smile. And before you ask, no, I'm not a PSG fan. And me wearing this has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Bayern beat Barca 8-2. 8-2, man. So for my bench, I don't want to spend too much time on it because I'm going with my college rules right now. Going A-chap. Going as cheap as possible. Because honestly, I don't think there's going to be much rotation at the beginning of the year. And there are so many good premium mids, I don't want to waste my money on my bench. Now that being said, I do have $1 million in the bank, so I could upgrade to, let's say, St. Max. But I'll get into that later. So I got Bouton in goal because mainly I got Matty Ryan, who's, spoiler, it's my keeper. So in case he gets hurt, I got his backup. Then I got Ferguson, who's your best bet at a £4 million defender that will be playing. Then I got Stevens, who again can come in and get a cheeky point here and there. And finally, I got the best name in the game, in Brewster. Now, I know he's a Liverpool spot, but I'm hearing he may go on loan, so I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. Because if he does go on loan, £4.5 million forward, that is a bargain. Now, in goal, I'm going to go with Matt Ryan, because I want a £4.5 million keeper that's a set and forget for the whole season. I don't want to be wasting moves later on, kind of changing things around. But I'm not going to lie, when schedules were dropped, I saw how much more favorable McCarthy from Southampton's schedule is than Matt Ryan's. And it made me tempted to switch over. But I told myself this season, go with who you trust, go with who you believe in, regardless of what their fixtures are. Because again, I don't want to be changing keepers back and forth throughout the season. So I'm going to stick with Matt Ryan. I think he could deliver another 140-point season this year. And I'm not going to lie, Brighton's defense do look better. I'm not saying they're going to be the best in the Prem, but they look better, especially considering they locked down Dunk for like 5 years or so. So for my defense, I'm going to go with one heavy hitter and 3 or 4 $4.5 million defenders that I could rotate in and out based on form and fixture in that order. So for my premium defender, to no surprise, I'm going with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now I'm not going to lie though, the longer the wait before a season starts, the more tempted I am to bring in Van Dijk or Robertson to save a little bit of cash and keep the coverage. But let's be honest, you know what sucks when you watch Liverpool matches? Not owning TAA, because this dude is everywhere. He's consistently whipping in crosses to Mane and Firmino. He's on set pieces, he's on corners, he is everywhere. And let's not forget rule number 1 of FPL Don, to enjoy FPL. And for me to do that, I got to have TAA in my squad, I got to have my favorite players that I like watching, so he's set and he's forget. Next up, we have Vinagre from Wolverhampton. Now, can I say his name right? Absolutely not. Is he in my squad? Absolutely. Look, he is a £4.5 million defender on possibly the second best defensive unit in the Prem. Because when Bally returned, they had 9 out of the 14 games be clean sheets. So at $4.5 million on that defensive unit, that is a bargain. Now, is he going to get attacking returns at left wing back? I don't necessarily see it, seeing his history. But you never know with that squad. They are phenomenal. He may get a couple cheeky assists here or there. Let's see how things play out. And if we look at his fixtures from game week 3 to 7, it is Scrooge McDuck. All green. That is phenomenal at a £4.5 million defender. I think he is a set and forget guy for now. Next up is going to be James Justin for Leicester. Now right now he's a starting right back on that squad because Ricardo Pereira is injured. So this may be a short-term thing. But I am hearing if Leicester aren't going to be able to get a new left back and if Luke Thomas doesn't step up, they may switch him over to that left side, so he may be able to get a longer-term investment for us. But right now, you're getting a £4.5 million defender on a very solid defensive unit, with Ndidi playing, that is. And if we look at his fixtures, he has West Brom, Burnley, and Man City up. Other than Man City, I think there was a very favorable schedules to him to be able to get some clean sheets. And let's see if he can get some attacker returns for us. Because last season when he played, he averaged about 0.1 expected assists per 90 minutes. Let's see as he develops as a player that he can improve on that. Because at 4.5 mil, that could be a bargain on that good of a squad for the short term. Now, I kept going back and forth with who's going to be my last £4.5 million defender. And I ended up going with Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, I did this mainly because of how good I think he can be and how good I think Southampton can be. Southampton looked great when play resumed. In fact, as the season got better after that 9-0 loss, I think, to Leicester, they consistently got better and better and better as the season went on. So let's see if they can keep that momentum going forward at the start of the season. And they have a very favorable schedule going with Crystal Palace, Tottenham, and Burnley, and West Brom. 3 of those 4 are very good opportunities to get clean sheets. And Kyle Walker-Peters may not be as attacking as he was with Tottenham, but let's see if he kind of gets going here and is allowed to press higher up the field than he did last season with Southampton. A very good, promising player, and let's see if he can deliver this season. The first midfielder off the board, the legendary Egyptian king in Mohamed Salah. Now, some call it a bit of a down here last year for him, but let's look at his numbers, because he averaged 7 fantasy points per game, a mere 19 goals and 10 assists, and almost 1 goal or assist per 90 minutes. Those are still phenomenal numbers. But to be honest, when he did play, he did miss opportunities that he normally puts away. He wasn't as lethal in front of goal as he was the past couple of years. But I'm not worried about that, because he's still averaging 4 shots per 90, which is above what I would want from him. He is a phenomenal asset. He dropped down in price to only 12 mil, and in my opinion, that is a must-buy. I'm hoping he can deliver another 250-point performance this year and carry me to FPL glory. Second up on midfield is going to be Aubameyang. Now, I'm not going to lie, I only have him here because KDB won't be playing in Game Week 1. So it is a bit tricky. I think I might switch him out next week. But it is going to be tough because he has Fulham and West Ham in these first 2 matches. And if he comes out firing, I don't know if I could justify dropping him. If you look at the past 5 seasons, he scored above 20 goals every year, going 22, 22, 23, 32, and 25. He is phenomenal. And under this Arteta offense, let's see if he can build upon this. Because now that he has Willian coming in, let's see if Pepe and Lacazette can kind of go to what we thought they would be, and that young squad get better and better. I think he could look at about 25 goals this year. So I don't know if I could justify dropping him, even for KDB, which again, I probably will in 2 weeks. But again, if we look at his shots per game, he's getting 2.6, which is a bit less than what I would want. But he's scoring 22 goals every year. How am I supposed to drop someone who's going to get 20 plus goals almost guaranteed? So it's going to be tricky for me. Am I going to drop him? I don't know. I'm kind of just playing the wait and see kind of game right now. But he is a phenomenal asset to have in your squad. Next up is going to be Hakeem Ziyech from Ajax. Dope slant rhyme, thank you. Now, I'm not going to lie. Is he a risk? Yeah, he's not proven in the Prem. Is he going to be in my squad? Absolutely. I think at 8 million, he is a bargain. Now, the biggest thing for me is when I watch him play in the Dutch League and watch him play in the Champions League, there wasn't much of a fall off. He still looked great in both, which is super encouraging. In fact, as an indicator, when he played Chelsea last season, again, group stages, he came away with 2 assists. So, which is very encouraging again for me. And when we dive into the stats, he averages 1.06 goals or assists per 90 minutes in the Dutch League. That's great numbers. That's better than Mo Salah in the Prem. Again, different leagues, I know. But what the surprising thing to me is if you look at how many shots he has per 90 minutes, last season he had 5 shots per 90 minutes. So he is very hungry to score consistently. I think coming into that Chelsea offense that is very attacking and scored 3rd most goals in the season last year, he's going to come away with double-digit assists and have a great season next year. Next up on the list is going to be the biggest love-hate relationship in FPL for me in Son. Now, when I picked him, all I could see was the time I captained him and got a -1, but I got to let that go. Now, Son is very tough for me because I told myself last season, if he is anything less than 9.5 and he has a favorable schedule, you have to get him in your squad. Look where we are now. Very favorable schedule and 9 mil. Now, my biggest concern with him is how he plays when Kane is there under Mourinho. When Kane is there, he's averaging less than 2 shots per game. When Kane is not there under Mourinho, he's averaging like 4 shots per game, something wild. So there's a clear difference there between when Kane is there and when he's not. And Kane is definitely going to be there. So am I concerned? Yeah. Is he going to probably pave way for Bruno Fernandes in Game Week 2? Most likely, unless we see something crazy in Game Week 1. But for right now, Son is in my squad, and bookmark this for when he gets -1, and I'm going to be very upset. So for my forwards, I got 2 of them. And first up is going to be Shea Adams in Southampton. Now, I'm not going to lie. I kept going back and forth between him and Mitrovic. I ended up landing on Shea mainly for 2 reasons. One, because he has a great run of fixtures, which I know I shouldn't pay much attention to, but I'm overthinking everything. And 2, when play resumed, he looked great. And since play resumed, he averaged like 3 shots per game and ended up coming away with 4 goals in that time period. Can he keep that momentum? I think he can. Let's see what happens. Obviously, he's 6 million, and if he does, that is a great price to have. He's got Danny Ings next to him. He's got Nathan Redmond, who I think is underrated behind him. He's got Armstrong. I think Southampton are phenomenal, and he could come away with a couple goals early on in the season. And for me, I think he is a great pick at 6 mil. For the last forward spot is going to be someone I am super hyped about, Timo Werner for Chelsea. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I watched him play in German League, I loved his game. He had 28 goals and 8 assists last season. That breaks down to 1.16 goals or assists per 90 minutes. Those are huge numbers. If you believe in expected goals, that's 1 expected goal or assist per 90 minutes. That is phenomenal. I think this dude is going to settle in perfectly in the Premier League. And again, I will have a video coming out later this week of analysis on him. But again, if you look at the Chelsea squad last year they had 3rd most goals scored in the Prem, just behind Man City and Liverpool. And if we look at how Chelsea strikers did themselves last year, Giroud and Abraham combined for 23 goals themselves. Add Werner into that, I think he could get that alone. And then let's not forget, you have Mason Mount, who's great at creating. You potentially have Havertz coming, who is great at creating. Ziyech, who consistently gets double-digit assists. Pulisic, who is phenomenal at creating with the ball at his feet. And you have Ben Chilwell, who is essentially coming there and is great at sending in crosses. Werner is going to be a talisman, and he is going to eat this season, in my opinion. Now, am I hyping him up a little bit? Yes, because I'm hyped he should have gone to Barcelona. But I think he could be a great asset, and a 9.5 mil, I think he is going to eat at that position. So that was my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, especially you, Emma Watson. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. That would be beautiful. And more importantly than anything, make someone smile today. If you're interested in a mini league code, it will be down there in the description. Obviously, you're more than welcome to join in. And let's have a great day. Enjoy Champions League Sunday. Don out.